Hello and welcome to episode 10 of my The Outer Worlds tutorial Let's Play series. This episode is going to be on continuing my progress on the quest Now Comes the Power. And so I've got myself back out to the botanical lab. Notice now I've equipped the, just to quickly show, the hunting rifle. I've tinkered it up to level 7. And I've also put a mod on it for the magazine size, and it gives me 3 extra bullets, but it's how I normally like to start a fight with a headshot, using this, because remember, with my character and his skills I've got long guns, and it does long guns critical damage plus 50%, so a good headshot. And that's why I've also been doing my sneak to try and get that up. It's up to 34% attack damage now, so that combined with that should do some pretty good headshots. Anyway, so I'm going to find Adelaide now. But also I want to pick up another side quest, which will give me more experience and level a bit quicker. And there's some food on the ground that you can pick up as well. The locals don't mind you picking it up. I'm trying to find Thomas. Let's go around the other side.
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
Let's talk to him.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
Oh no, that's not Thomas. Oh, there's Thomas, of course, by the workbench.
Oh, didn't see you there. I was just occupying myself with a little engineering. Whoa, Miss Parvati. Hey, you're, what, how are you? Hi, hello.
Are you, are things safe out here? How are you keeping?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no, I'm just along with this fella here.
Are you from town? I mean, you don't exactly look like you're from town.
I'm just trying to get my ship off the ground.
Never heard it phrased in such a way before. I guess we're all trying to get our ships off the ground, ain't we? Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair.
I'm going to use that, in fact. When people ask me, how are you, I'm going to say to them, just trying to get my ship off the ground. I like that. Never too late to start learning. I could give you a couple of pointers.
I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads, I'd be greatly obliged.
Today is your lucky day, Thomas. I've got those data pads you wanted, so that's what I'm going to call this episode, the name of this quest.
No kidding! Really? Well, which one?
Part 2, found it in the cannery.
Ain't that just ironical? If I'd worked a little longer back at the cannery, I might have found this myself. I appreciate you going through all that trouble. In fact, I put aside something special, on the off chance that somebody'd search out those data pads for me.
I'll let you know if I find the others.
Sure, I'd be glad to take them off your hands.
I should go. Right, okay, well, I didn't pick up the one from the community centre. I thought I got everything. So I'm going to pause it and come back when I've got it. Or I'll unpause it when I've found it to show where it is in the community centre. Back in a sec. Okay, so I've come back in the community centre. You come up the stairs and I must have walked straight by it. There it is, Engineering Volume 1. I am so going blind. So I'll grab that and pause and unpause once I get back to Thomas. Okay, so let's talk to Thomas again.
Any luck finding one of those manuals?
Today's your lucky day. Let's try that.
No kidding. Really? Well, which one?
As you just repeat.
Look at that. Building a computing machine out of Spectrum potatoes, a primer. I'm just glad it survived all these years. 2 whole data pads? Be still my beating heart. Oh, almost forgot your payment.
So they're now friendly to me. I don't think there's anything
What's on your mind?
else to talk to him about. How long have you lived here?
Couple months. This camp's my home. People you see milling about, they're my family. At least I think of them that way. I owe them my life. Would have died in the wilderness if they hadn't chanced upon me, starving and delirious.
What were you doing out in the wilderness?
We all left the cannery for one reason or another. Me? I was let go. Mostly on account of my incompetence. I mean, I was incompetent. I couldn't even survive on my own. Grace found me, Adelaide took me in, I've been on my feet ever since.
You weren't incompetent. You just didn't fit the cannery. Not like here. This place had a U-shaped hole, and now it doesn't.
You could stay, you know. Here. I'd be happy to... I mean, we could really use... this isn't coming out right. If you want, Adelaide would make a place for you.
I should leave. Right, so yeah, there we go. Check the journal. And so now Thomas Kemp, one of the deserters living with Adelaide in the botanical lab, is trying to teach himself engineering. He has asked you to bring him the volumes, any volumes of A Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering that you find in Emerald Vale. Find the 3 volumes. Thomas said he knows that at least one is set in the local community centre and another is in the town of Edgewater, so I've given him them 2. The 3rd one is in the Geothermal Plant, and that's where we're going to go after talking to Adelaide. So there's 3 different quests for when we get to the Geothermal Plant. Anyway, where's Adelaide? Here she is. Let's talk to her.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear?
You must be Adelaide.
I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
Is this your greenhouse?
No, dear. The garden belongs to us all. Life is the gift of the universe, and the universe yields its bounty equally, absent of prejudice.
I'm surprised you managed to grow anything out here.
The soil around the Vale went sour years ago. but I found a way to sweeten it back up. The secret recipe is a little bit of elbow grease, a dash of love, and a heaping pile of special fertilizer.
Looks like you've made a home for yourself out
A
here.
home for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go and nothing to lose. So, like the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots.
Why did you leave your old home?
It is an unpleasant story, dear. But the short of it is that sometimes one wakes up and realizes the place that was once her home for much of her life has changed. The home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so we must move on. And that is as much as I will say on the subject.
Reed sent me to make peace with you. Now she's going to turn ugly.
Reed Thompson, you here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then?
Reed asks you to consider coming back to town. He's willing to make amends.
Make amends? Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves.
Reed asked me to divert the power over to him. He mentioned a geothermal plant.
He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans?
Your camp has a power regulator. I need it to repair my ship.
Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip 'em out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do.
What have you got against the town?
You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scrap Spacer's choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Miss Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them.
You made your point clear enough. I'll see what I can do. Let's see what she says about Edgewater. Let's say I help you. What happens to Edgewater?
Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives.
You think Reed's just trying to spite you?
You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. He's counting on it.
I'll consider it.
I trust you will listen to your conscience.
Okay, right, so that's that discussion done. We check the quest journal. See what it says now. Divert power from the geothermal plant. You delivered Reed's message, but Adelaide refused to return to Edgewater. Head to the geothermal plant and redirect the power. Adelaide proposed that you divert the geothermal plant's output to the botanical lab, depriving Edgewater of power. So there we go. So got 3 quests at the geothermal plant. So that's where we're going to go now. I mean, there is lots of stuff here, I believe. Let's save it, just in case I get seen. What's this? Personal files. Oh, hack. May the Eternal bless my first endeavour. It's been 2 days since I walked away from life at Edgewater Cannery. Fortuitously, the old botanical labs are still operational, mostly. The soil's sour. I'll do what I can, but I'm going to need some powerful fertiliser. Tired of having the taste of sultana lingering on my tongue, day in, day out. I want something fresh, something that grows out of the earth. Last entry. We found another worker from Edgewater, ex-worker now. Desertion rates must be climbing. I'm not terribly surprised. Ree's style of management has always been tyrannical. I imagine an exodus is brewing. At any rate, the worker was in a sorry state. Fever, shallow breathing, delirious, must have been plagued. I set him right with a diet of greens. He was all better in a couple of weeks. Physically and spiritually, he's one of our flock now. First entry, experimental notes. I am hereby repurposing this botanical lab from its original conception as a gear in the soulless automation of the corporate machine. The greenhouse may look impressive, but like all Spacer's Choice products, it is cheap and unreliable. I shall have to make some repairs with my own 2 hands. This place shall become a nursery. Before it was abandoned, I understand the horticulturalists failed to produce a single viable crop. Something about the soil being too poor. I am determined to find a way. May the Eternal smile upon my endeavours. Last entry. Flora are living things, as sensitive to their environment as any breathing, thinking body. I contend that the crops in this region failed because the corporate scientists tending to them are cold, heartless, inhumane people acting on behalf of a sterile and inhumane power. One cannot expect your crops to flush with green and reach for the sky under these conditions. The soil is sour, it's true. I don't know quite how to explain that. I am sure the scienticians will say something about biology or the carbon cycle, but I can conclude after months of my own experimentation that the secret to a rich and wholesome garden is love, attention, compassion, and a natural fertiliser bursting with organic materials, just as nature intended. Yes, there's a lot about this fertiliser, which we will get to in due course. Yeah, let's head to the geothermal plant. A lot of this is closed off after you do the geothermal plant. Oh, I see. It's full of goodies. Let's grab them while we can. I think that's it. Oh, maybe not. Right, let's do a save in case I get seen whilst pilfering. And head to this geothermal plant. Where is it? So it's that direction. I've got to go around and test out my hunting rifle. See how effective it is. Okay, there is the geothermal plant. Let's sneak and get a bit closer. Yeah, you can see there's a combat drone. we'll see how good Pavati does with her weapon that she's got. Just to quickly show, she is using this, so it's giving shock damage, which should do extra damage to mechanicals. We will see. Oh, nice bit of XP there. So, okay, there's lots of them in there. Well, there's about 3 or 4 of them in there. Best way to dispatch them. I want to use Pavati. Get that bonus experience. And it's a shame the waters would be too noisy for me to be near that. So, there's one just here. So I'm going to do a shot to soften it up and then send Pavati in. Oh, flipping heck. Alright, that was a good shot. Wow, I didn't think it'd be that powerful. There's another one there. Oh yeah, taking care of business. Very cool. Yeah, I like my hunting rifle. Most effective. Remember though, I have... Oh, flipping out. Is that Pavati shooting at me? Can't have been. It's just going to take her out, so I've got to try and help her. No, too late. That's how you do it, Pavati. Okay, well, it's a shame she didn't quite make it. But that's okay. They're dead, that's all that matters. So I'm going to have a sweep now through this yard, because there's lots of stuff hidden. I don't think I need to sneak. Not at the moment. So they duck their way in here. And the marauders, I'm guessing. And you just know there's going to be more hidden stuff.
I always wanted to poke around in here.
Well, now's your chance. There's going to be some more sentries, I know that. Yes, as you can see, loads of stuff. There is still though one mechanical I need to take care of. At least one. Can hear him. So if I get one, oh no, there's two. So I want to get at least one shot in to weaken, and then let Pavati do the rest. There it is.
Processing.
Well, I did want to let Pavati, but it wasn't meant to be. What can I say?
Security patrol.
What can I say? I'm going to try and let Pavati do this one.
Incoming! I'm on it!
Let's see.
Everyone alright?
Yeah, she didn't. Alright, don't need to sneak anymore. Okay, time to go inside and do some fighting in there. Again, there's going to be lots of mechanicals, but I'll leave that for the next episode, where we will go exploring the Geothermal Plant. Wherever you are in the world, God bless you and keep you safe. Thank you for watching and have a fantastic day. Goodbye.